Hey, so I'm hoping to put together with Grant a couple of these videos, probably going to be about 10 or 12 videos, each of them 3 or 4 minutes long, maybe a little longer, sometimes a little shorter. And really what we're hoping to do is to help you understand what a disciple is, what it means to make disciples, and really, I guess at the heart of it, just give you some really practical advice, mostly out of things that we've done that have not worked. We can tell you lots of things that haven't worked, but hopefully that we can give you some practical advice on how to go about taking really seriously this great call that Jesus gives us in Matthew 28. So there are a lot of things that we do, and there's a lot of things that God does. God's job is to build the church. God's job is to send the Spirit. God's job is to send us. God's job is ultimately to save people. Our job, well, we're told to go. We're the missionaries. God sends us out into the world, and we're told to go and make disciples of the nations, not to build the church. Jesus will do the church building stuff. We're called to make disciples, and we make disciples by teaching people to be obedient to everything Jesus instructs. Every organization and probably every individual has some measurement of success in the various things that they do. I don't know what you get up to. I've spent a great deal of my life racing bicycles, and there's some measurement of success, either a time that you're aiming for or a position you're aiming for in the race. Our children at the moment are playing rugby, and there's a measurement of winning or losing a game. If you're a business person, there's some bottom line, how many products you sell, what your gross and net profits are, and there's some measurement then at the end of a season as to how successful you have been. So how does a church measure success? A lot of people would answer this question quite differently. Some would say it's how many people pitch up for worship on a Sunday morning. That's not a bad measurement, but it can't be the only one. Others would talk about buildings and money. Those are also important things and helpful things to God's kingdom being extended here on earth. But many churches that I know of are desperately poor, and yet I would think are quite successful. And so at its heart is this great instruction to go and make disciples of the nations. If we get this right, everything changes. Because disciples are the people who take Jesus seriously. They're the ones who go into this world. They're the ones who are sharing the good news about Jesus with their unsaved and lost friends and family. They're the ones who are uplifting the poor, who are protecting the oppressed and the downtrodden. They're the ones who will be fighting racism. They're the ones who will be in their boardrooms making sure companies are honest. They will go out and bring the fragrance of the kingdom of God wherever it is that they go, into the schools, universities, workplaces, and into the families, around the dining room tables and around the briars. It's those kinds of people, disciples, who are going and making other disciples, that are the success measurement of any church. And our hope as leaders of Protea Valley over the next season is to mold and shape our leaders into a disciple-making movement, that we'd be a church that is known for our disciple-making. Now, it's going to make some of you uncomfortable, mostly because you're not certain what to do, and that's the point of these videos. We just want to put together some practical ideas, some simple teaching, so that you would understand what it means to go and make a disciple, because the reality is, and this has been true for me, that most of us have never been discipled, and so we are often just shooting in the dark. And we want to help you try to have some direction, some clear aim of what it is to make disciples. So all I'm asking you to do at this point in time is go read Matthew 28, see what it is that Jesus instructs us to do, begin to pray in the Spirit that He would give you wisdom and insight and understanding. Perhaps above all else, I want you to pray that Jesus would give you a heart for the lost. That's where it starts, a heart to make disciples. Just pray that the Lord of the harvest would send you out to go and make disciples of the nations.